Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we have CWL Tonight, episode 3, and we have the draft special. Alongside me we have Rocco, and right after this, next video is going to be the draft. So we're going to be talking about every single prospect that will be drafted in the draft, and giving an analysis, and then at the end we will be doing a mock draft. So we're going to start off with a player that has been playing with us since I think week 4, Peyton Boyd. What are some skills that you see from Peyton on every single game that he plays?
For teams that need a pitcher like you, he can hit the strike zone consistently more than most people. Not saying he's a top pitcher, but he's able to hit the strike zone more than some of the backup players. What the hell is going on in my chair? I'm sinking.
And you saw from the beginning, dude. What?
Okay.
All right. And then you saw from the beginning of the season to the end of the season, he amped up his velocity, and now in the spring training, you could definitely see from like the tournaments and stuff that he has a lot better pitches and he'll become a lot better player.
No? I'm joking. So, I don't see him being very high on velocity, but he's better on accuracy.
He's upped it than he was.
Well, yeah.
When he was playing with Brad.
It's subpar. It's close to average now.
He has more of a...
More command.
Yeah, overhand delivery now, more than underhand. But I think some weaknesses is Peyton doesn't swing too much. He doesn't have the velocity like we said, but he is a fast runner, and he could be used as a pinch runner if a manager that picks him up does not want to play him. So we're going to move on to a next guy, Weston Wanamaker. Rocco, what do you think of some weaknesses of Weston's game are?
He's never going to show up. That's what he said directly. He won't show up most of the time. But if we're talking game, he can't pitch.
Yeah.
And then I don't see him being a great fielder, so I can see him being a DH for a team that maybe doesn't need need a player.
Yeah, I see a team picking him up as a team that doesn't really need doesn't need a player to come in and start with them right away. He could be used as a bat, like Rocco said. But I think a team that would be perfect is a team that does not have, that has a full roster already and just looking for someone to come in and sub.
And I think he'd be a great guy just to have around and
He's a very funny guy, yeah. Good guy to be on camera.
Yes.
All right, next guy we're going to talk about is Brendan Whitmore. Brendan, he's not really too much of a pitcher. He's going to be more used as a defensive specialist, so it's going to be interesting to see who does pick him up, as he's going to be, out of those 3 guys that I just said, probably the last one to be picked. So it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. What is your analysis on Brendan?
Well, from what we saw from him, or what I have, because I don't know if he's come to anything other than that one series, but since we lobbed the ball, I don't know how he is against pitches, but since we lobbed it, he made contact, but he was a straight ground ball hitter, and we saw he didn't hit 1 home run, so he wouldn't be used for power. But if you want to use him for something like getting on base, if he hits like he does with the lobs, and he just hits consistently on the ground, he should at least get some productivity on the team. And then we don't know how he pitches because we didn't see him pitch.
Yeah, we never saw him pitch.
So
I don't think he's going to be used as a pitcher, though.
No, but it depends what team he goes to. Some teams could use him as a pitcher.
Yeah.
But he could, from what he looked like, he could improve and then totally prove us wrong. I think he has the chance to, but I don't know if he'll work hard enough to. So I think he'll just end up being
just a role player, defensive specialist.
If that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think he's going to be more end of the roster, like lineup for every team. All right, the next guy, 4th guy we're going to go into is Andrew Gordon. He is the brother of Brendan, and he played, not Brendan Whitmore, but another Brendan, who was also in the draft. He played against Rocco in spring training and struck him out, I think, once. You guys haven't seen that yet. Yeah, the lefty. I think he's around 15 or 16 and used to play football. Big guy, has, I think, some long hair. He definitely is going to be Noah's 1 or 2 pitcher. He hit a home run off Rocco, so we're giving you guys a sneak peek of that. But he did hit a home run off Rocco, which is pretty good. But yeah, what could you see Andrew doing on the team that he goes to, and how he could succeed?
Honestly, he could probably be one of the top pitchers, being one of the only left-handers in this league, because we haven't seen much of them other than Landon as a top pitcher. So lefty-wise, he could probably be one of the top pitchers coming from that side. And then he has a good amount of power, so I think he could prove to be decent on a team.
Yeah.
Especially on a team that's lower, he could probably boost them up a lot.
Andrew is more drop-centric. He throws a lot of drop balls and fastballs. So he's going to have to work on some more risers because we didn't really see a good riser out of him. So definitely going to have to work on his arsenal. And we're going to move right into Brendan Gordon, who is the brother. Andrew is better, I would say, than Brendan. So we're going to have to... I think Brendan's going to go after Andrew. But what did you see out of Brendan that could possibly help the team that pick him, and he could possibly be an all-star?
I didn't see much from him because they didn't allow him to pitch, but he had a little bit of power. I'm pretty sure he also
He hit a home run too.
A lot of people did, just because from what I was throwing, it was my first time coming back. But I see him having a decent amount of power. He was able to see some of my pitches well. All of them, I think, in spring training had a good eye.
Yeah.
So that could also help him. I don't know defensively because we didn't see much from him, but I still feel like he could be one of the top players in the draft.
Yeah, Brendan, a very good baseball player for Roseville, and he's going to be a freshman. And he has a good baseball IQ, good defensive player. He's more of a pull hitter too. We didn't, like Rocco said, we didn't see him pitching much, so it's going to be interesting to see what a captain does and puts him in the lineup. All right, so the next guy we're going to go into. Who should we go into now? We're going to do 5. We're going to go into Zach Barrick. Rocco does not know much about this guy, but he is friends with Bradley. So I'm most likely going to see Bradley taking Zach here. He is a big guy, is a lefty hitter, but a righty pitcher. Going to be used probably on the right side of the defense and hits bombs. If he gets drafted to the Golden Eagles, how do you think Zach can do with Bradley?
Well, with Brad, it's not much. It depends if he'll make the team, like, as a starting spot, because it's Brad, Landon, and Daniel. But if Daniel doesn't show up, I could see him going
Landon's not going to show up much either.
Yeah.
There's
and
big uncertainty on the Golden Eagles right
and
now.
the bottom of his bench isn't much to beat. So
No.
I think he can easily earn a spot if one of two don't show up.
Zach is a pitcher too, has a really pretty good slider. I would say like top 10 in the league with his slider. But I think if Landon and Daniel do not show up, I would say Zach would probably be the number 2 guy, especially because they're just friends.
I wouldn't see him pitching too much, just because if he struggles the least bit, Brad doesn't have too much of a span of like patience when it comes
That's
to
true.
like people that aren't on his team or that are on his team, but that isn't him pitching. So I see him not pitching as much as he probably could on a different team.
Yeah. All right, so we have another player by the name of Ryan Alemi. He did go to our second tournament. He is not on the website right now because we just added him. Gavin Dulaney added him to the draft class. But he is very short. He's pretty funny. I think the people that went would remember him. He's not too good of a hitter or a pitcher, but he's a good defensive player. So I don't really know what the team that could pick him up could use him. Probably just defense, because when he came in to pitch, he wasn't too good.
Where was he? Because I think you said the second tournament.
Yeah, he was at the second tournament.
Wasn't I there?
No, we had 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we went over, let's see. Who did we not go over?
Cody Simmons, Luke Euler, and Will McElmore.
Luke is not a pick. Oh, yeah. Will McElmore. That's our last guy that we had to talk about. Some players, like he said, Luke Euler was going to be in the draft, and he was going to go to the Talking Toms. But then he went out because they did too. Last pick is Will McElmore that we're going to talk about. Late add. I added him to the draft class just to fill out everything. He's probably around Zach's level. He will be a pitcher and an outfielder just like him. He is a year under us, so he will be used with whoever team to probably be either 2 or 3 pitcher, and will be a good batter. So we have gone over everyone. Now it is time for me and Rocco to make our mock draft. We're both going to say each pick, and we're going to wrap it up pretty soon. So we got the number 1 pick. We got the Mambas. Who do you have them selecting?
Well, don't they have a pre-selected
Yeah,
pick?
they have a pre-selected pick.
So who is it?
Which is Andrew Gordon, like we talked about.
The lefty?
Yeah, 16-year-old, lefty, throws drops. Now we got the number 2 pick with the Red Hawks. Who do you have them taking?
That's up to you. I chose the first one.
I'm not allowed to say anything.
All right, Peyton Boyd, obviously you've shown that you want him and that you proved that you would trade with any team that would probably take him. So that's pretty obvious, Peyton Boyd.
I agree, but I'm not spoiling anything. We got the number 3 pick. We have the Knights. Rocky, you're not allowed to say anything here, but really all we have left is Weston Wanamaker and Brendan Whitmore. And I had Weston Wanamaker at the beginning of the year, Brendan Whitmore in the middle of the year, and now I have him selecting Weston Wanamaker. With Brendan, he's going to show up, but it's kind of really 50-50 for me right now. No one really knows. I've tried to get some responses out of Rocco to try to tell me where he's going, but keep it pretty secretive, so
No.
it's going to be pretty interesting to see what he does.
I would look at the rest of the draft picks, but I'm pretty sure all the other ones that we just talked about today that are on the website are already pre-select, so
Yeah.
I don't get a choice at anything else.
Yeah. But the person that you were trying to bring in, did he say no?
I haven't heard anything about him, but it's too late now. So
Yeah.
he'd probably come in as a free agent and go onto my team.
Yeah, you probably could just use him as a sub.
Yeah,
if you
and
need
once
someone.
I draft a player, I won't say which one or put any hints towards it. He'll probably be used exactly the same way that I would if I were to have drafted him.
Oh, okay. So, I have them selecting Weston Wanamaker. With the 4th pick, Cody Simmons. Cody Simmons, the not team, is going to be selecting the player that me and Rocco do not select. So, like Rocco said, he mocked Peyton going to me. I mocked Weston going to Rocco, which means Cody will be picking, in our mock draft, Brendan Whitmore. So, that is the last of the regular picks. Everything after that is pre-selected. So we got, with the number 5 pick, we got the Golden Eagles selecting Zach Barrick. Number 6 pick, the Redhawks taking Will McElmore. 7th pick, the Mambas are taking Brendan Gordon. And the 8th pick, the Sea Dogs are taking Ryan Alemi. So we're going to go. That is going to be it for today's talk show. The next video you guys are going to be seeing is the draft. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you then.